many reasons. And I want to make a statement that I think you perhaps can agree with. It's in the damn plan. We do business in the midst of our very real lives, right? Where relationships swirl in and out and demands for our time are endless. Anybody feel it? Mm-hmm. And excuses for not doing what we said we would do are everywhere. Still willing to admit that? Okay. I'm the first one to say that is the truth, because this is a very real world. But it is for that reason that I'm here tonight to talk about finding the love in your business. And I have a dirty little secret to tell you. Are you up for dirty secrets? Okay. You gotta wait. You gotta wait through the whole presentation for that one. But let me give you a hint. It is the best excuse stopper out there. It is your one tool to kick all of your excuses to the curb, and then some. So let's start with a few more questions. I need to know more about you. Do you love what you do?
Yes.
Show of hands. Woohoo! Would you like to find more love in your business?
Yes.
It's always good to want more. Are you maybe somebody who's looking for love? Boy, the room fell silent. Well, years ago, not too many, I could say yes to all three of those questions. I love being my own boss. I've been my own boss for 30 years. I cannot imagine literally doing anything else, and I think I'm pretty much unemployable at this point. So here I am with mic in hand. The second question, would you love to have more love in your business? Yes. Oh my gosh, people. I so needed and wanted more love, more freedom, and more money. Period. That would be nice. And lastly, I was always looking for love in all the wrong places. Yes, in all the wrong places. And I think you get this, Jam. All right, let me demonstrate. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my, look at that. I could get my arms around that. Yes. Wouldn't that be great? It's got all the right components, everything in the right place. And they tell me it'll fix all my problems and help me succeed wildly on my own terms and from my couch. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we date ideas like we date prospective partners. We fall in love with them, and then we begin the dating process. And we realize sometimes that there still is no big change in my level of love or joy. Ever been there? But when you quit looking for love in all the wrong places, you will truly find love in your business. Now, I am about to preempt the whole dirty secret that you thought you were going to have to wait till the end. But it's too good. It's just really too good. I came across this dirty little secret in a really odd place. You see, I own two companies, and one of them does resource development or fundraising for organizations, educational institutions, nonprofits, and so forth. And I was called upon to go visit Betty, because Betty was a musician. Betty had started the one and only music camp that had lasted for 60 years right here in the state of Minnesota. All right. And the music camp had hired me to go find some money to keep the music camp going. Betty's an ideal client, right? So off I go to see Betty. I look at the address, and I was new to town, so I didn't quite put my head around where she lived. But as I walked up the walk, I saw her house. And let's just say her house leaned slightly to the left, and the screen door leaned slightly to the right. I knocked on the door, and from inside came one single word: "Come!" I wasn't sure if I was welcome or not. But in I walk and I meet this woman. She's as wide as she is tall, and she's sitting in an overstuffed chair that I am pretty sure had been in the house that she lived in since the day it was built in 1910. Being a musician, I knew what one of the first questions she was going to ask me was. So, Kim, oh, did I tell you she was cranky? Kim, did you ever play a musical instrument? The dreaded question. Well, yes, Betty, but I wasn't very good. Well, did you practice? In that short statement, I knew exactly what she was calling me to do, not just in maybe learning to play trumpet again, but in every aspect of my life. If there was something I really, really, really wanted, if there was a dream that I had that had such a fire in my belly that I can't think of doing anything else, and that's business for me, was I willing to practice? Was I willing to discipline? That's the dirty little secret. Discipline myself and focus. I need you to hold the mic, John. Because when I was done with Betty, I said, well, Betty, you know, I didn't practice cornet, but for at least a half an hour every day of my life, since I was 5 years old, I have twirled baton. This is my house baton. It's short. Woo. So, what are you willing to do? How hot is your fire? Are you willing to discipline yourself to succeed? Because I can tell you right now, there is no easy button. There is no easy button. Think for a moment about something you have always wanted to do. Think about something that you need to do in your business. Who likes to make sales calls? A few of you. Why do you like to make sales calls?
I like meeting people.
I like meeting people. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. Did you always like to make sales calls? Can you remember the first one?
Yep.
All right. Was it good?
Actually, it was.
I really feel bad for you.
It was the worst thing that could have happened.
It was the worst thing that could have happened.
Because they didn't teach you what to do when they said yes.
Absolutely. But at some point, a person stumbles. When I was learning how to twirl baton, I got it upside the head. I got it. Oh, this is the big spot, by the way, that a baton twirler gets, is in the elbow. And you'll end up being bruised on all your wings. But to continue forward, to learn how to do those sales calls, to embrace them, to actually love them, you know what I'm going to say. Practice. Practice, practice, practice. Now, as I changed my business model for the DM plan, it was important for me to get back in the sales mode. Because see, when you've owned a company for 30 years, you kind of have a lot of repeat loyal clients if you've done it right. But now I'm starting a new business, so I'm back in the trenches.
I had to be willing to be taught, to receive the lessons, and to practice. It was the only way that I was going to build a new business from the ground up. Do you know how damn hard that was? Do you know how much damn help I needed? A lot. So how do you get disciplined? How do you transcend the pain that comes naturally? Well, musicians. Anybody here play a musical instrument? Or should I say, did you play a musical instrument? Anybody?
Did we? Yes.
Did. Okay. Well, the first time you put your lips to that cornet or that clarinet or you beat on the drum, were you good?
Nope.
Were there people that said, you suck? Take it outside? So there may have been people that said, oh my gosh, I don't think I can deal with you learning this. And so you pull back. So I can tell you that the number one way to learn to be disciplined is to align yourself with people who believe in the possibility, even more than you do right now. Believe that you can do it. And they are willing to show up and kick your backside with love when you slack up. I call her Sandy. She's my daughter. She's my business partner. And one of the best things I did for my business. Because Sandy will step in and tell me the truth, tell me like it is, encourage me when I practice, and raise me to a higher level. Do you all have someone like that in your life? Do you actively call upon them and use them? Awesome. I see many heads going up and down. Some are going, oh, no, I don't want nobody. That's okay, because when you're not ready to receive, it's not the best time to ask for help. So until you're ready to deal with the pain, that kid on the basketball court, that musician that's learning to play, that baton twirler, has got to have someone that'll coach them. So what's the value of a coach? A coach will truly, if they're serious, will meet you where you're at, whether you suck or not, stand beside you when you don't believe in yourself, and kick your backside with love until you can stand on your own. That's the value of a coach. So that's number one, how to get disciplined. I bet you thought you had to do it all by yourself in the back bedroom. No, you all know that it's different because you're here. You're aligned with people who believe in you. The next piece of learning to be disciplined is to burn the boats. Burn the boats. How many of you have a plan B? Plan Bs aren't bad. I think we should all have a little backup. But if plan B is getting in the way of plan A, or splitting your focus, or every time it gets a little hard over there trying to operate your business or learn what you need to learn, and you're going, oh my gosh, I don't want to run. I'll just really pedal slowly here, over here on this bike, but you want to run. Just step over there and do what's easier. It's human nature. It's human nature, and you don't need to beat yourself up with it. Because guess what? We are driven and motivated by, what are we driven and motivated by?
Fear.
No. Pleasure. Pleasure. We are driven and motivated by pleasure. Everybody thinks it's pain. We are driven to stay away from pain and to seek pleasure. So guess what? When you actually stick to it and focus on that one thing and get really good, then you could be like Michael and say, I love making sales calls. I love doing the thing. When you get good at it. And you won't get good at it until you work at it. So the best way to work at it is 18 minutes at a time. 18 minutes at a time. Do you know how many math quizzes are there here? That if you practice something 18 minutes a day, you will get in 100 hours of practice before the year's out. How many of you could master your craft in 100 hours? You want to write a book? Sit down and write for 100 hours. And you're going, oh, no, don't have the time. The excuses start popping up. I've got other things to do. No, I wouldn't know what to write about. Think of how those excuses pop up when the pain of doing it is too big. I twirl the tongue for 20 minutes a day, every day. And the proof will be in the pudding next summer. All right, are you ready? Follow me on Facebook for fire batons on paddleboard.
Going for that.
Doing it. But I've never thought about this, but I could burn the insides of my elbows.
Or your hair.
Or my hair. You see, I've never twirled fire baton. I've never had one. But my son says he can make me one, which is even scarier. And then he says he'll push the paddleboard out. This is starting to sound like a Viking funeral. But I'll do it. I'll do it for sure. Because I want to. Because I have literally a fire in my belly to try it. And if it doesn't work, I'll have given it my best shot. Or burn down the cabin. One of the two. So, practice every day, 18 minutes. Lastly, the biggest question of all, speaking of fires, how badly do you want the success you seek? How badly do you want the success you seek, or the skill, or the excellence you want to achieve? How badly do you want it? This is the biggest question you will have to answer ever. Because if you don't want it more than anything, you will make every excuse in the book for why it won't work, why it is not a good idea for a 65-year-old woman on a paddleboard to twirl a fire baton, why she shouldn't because the neighbors will tease her kids endlessly. No. You will make every excuse in the book if you don't want it there. So I encourage you today to imagine a fire. And you can put this fire anywhere you want. For some of us, it's a fire in our belly. When I spoke a couple of weeks ago, I talked about a fire under my backside, which is only about 27 inches high, so it's a small flame. So I'm going to do it up here. But I cannot imagine, and I can say this without batting an eyelash, I cannot imagine living my life any other way than being my own boss. Can you say the same about your dream? If you can't, you know what? It's okay. There's no shame or guilt in saying that I'm just trying to get this done. And it's not a real big passion for me. It's okay to say that. But the effort you put in, the time you spend, will be directly related to the temperature and the height of that fire. I've seen it time and time again with thousands of coaching clients, with people that have succeeded and opened their doors and shut them months later because it wasn't what they thought. I've seen it over and over again, and I know that that fire in your belly will get you out on a cold winter's night, maybe running because you want to become a better runner, maybe sitting outside playing your trumpet because you want to pick up the trumpet again and your wife won't let you in the house. It'll drive you. It'll drive you. So, what say you? Are you willing to do what it takes? This is not a rhetorical question. Are you willing to do what it takes?
Yes.
Turn the fire up.